time. Not bad. This was the only reason Tom wanted to come. Because Batman, nice to meet you.
So I was your only reason for being here.
You were the main reason. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, this is actually a really good event because it's not just about me. You got the Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors in there, supporting the veterans, and then we got me with supporting what I do with the kids, and then when you got Dana's Pink Wishes, they support the kids with childhood cancer, and then we're also raising funds for Chris, who's fighting lung cancer. So that's what's cool about the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is it's not just one charity, it's not just one cause. Yeah, you're coming here and you're hitting 4 different things in one weekend, so it's pretty amazing.
Are you local to this area?
No, I'm actually out of Huntington, West Virginia. Yeah, I relocated there. I was a firefighter over in Iraq, and I relocated to West Virginia, and then God gave me this great idea to put together a Batman outreach. So I've literally been the world's only full-time Batman since 2012. Yeah. Gotham City's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But you do a lot. You were talking real quick before, like you go to like hospitals and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of things. I do a lot of school tours. So I do bullying, suicide, drug prevention, school violence prevention assemblies for kids. So basically all I'm doing is bringing this character to life. And everybody always asks me why Batman. Well, watched both of his parents get murdered. And then he took that stuff, which now you've got an adoption story. How many kids can relate to that from broken homes today? And so the Batman story was just the perfect formula to bring this character to life because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a regular dude that as a kid went through trauma, and then he took that pain. Alfred, who adopted him, basically also became his counselor. So Batman learned how to talk about the things instead of always internalizing them. And so he took his anger, took his sadness, and actually figured out a way to serve the city that had hurt him the most. And people say all the time, well, yeah, he did it. He was a billionaire. I'm like, well, let's talk about that for a second because they make it sound like the money just naturally gave him the ability to be a superhero. And I'm like, well, we got over 300 billionaires in the world today, and none of them have the balls to be Batman yet. So, but here's the other thing. He could have taken his parents' money, moved away to an island in the Bahamas, sipped pina coladas his whole life, and never had anything to do with them. But instead, what he did was he woke up every single day, okay, and used his wealth to try to change the city that had hurt him the most. There's nothing more heroic than that. And he did it with no superpowers. So he's not from another planet. He wasn't bit by a spider. So this is the answer when people say, why Batman? This is why. Because that character inspires people that no matter what you've been through, you can put it to work.
And it's relatable because
anybody can be Batman. And that's what I do. When I go and talk to kids, I go to talk to school assemblies. I don't teach them. I don't try to show up and pretend to be, I'm the only Batman. There's no one else like me. I don't do that. I'm not there to try to pretend to be this movie character. What I teach them is there's a whole army of us all over the world. We've all joined this Batman army, Batman, Batgirls, and what we do is we all work together to try to change the world one kid at a time. And if you really want to, you can discover what your superpower is. It doesn't mean you got to suit up in a cape and drive a crazy Batmobile around. If you want to, you can. But it doesn't mean that's the way you have to do it. But every person has to discover what is your superpower. What is it that you have to contribute to building the hope in other people? Remember, here comes the Dropbox moment. You ready? Here comes the Dropbox. Life is about figuring out what you can do to contribute hope to other people. Nothing else matters in life. Selling posters, selling books, notoriety, money in the bank, retirement funds, all that means nothing when you're 5 minutes away from your dirt nap. The only thing that really matters is, what have I done with my life? Well, some people say, well, how do I figure out what my superpower is? Well, here you go. It's like Navy SEAL training. When Navy SEALs are trained, they put them in the coldest water, they starve them, they hit them, they shoot at them, they do everything. They swim in from 6 miles offshore. It's crazy, right? When they graduate, they get the trident. Those that survived it, they get the trident. And that badge says one thing: I suffered so that I could help you. Navy SEALs are trained so that they could be inserted into somebody else's worst day. Well, what's that mean for us? We got to be like Navy SEALs. My gifts, what are my patches? So everybody has patches in life. A patch of childhood abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. Maybe you got a patch of a broken home. Maybe that was your accomplishment in life as you've come from that. Maybe you're fighting some sort of sickness. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you've got depression and suicide going on. It could be anything. Oh, look, there's Skittles right there. Skittles, what are you doing, girl? Who signed your head? You're right. I signed my head. So here's the way it works. And I don't know who this is for, but somebody on the other side of this needs to hear this. Whatever it is that you have suffered through, not just suffered with, I'm talking about you've done the work to go through it and overcome it. That becomes your superpower. Just because you were, like I was, molested in the Boy Scouts, horribly sexually abused for 2 years by a guy in the Boy Scouts, 13 of us all together. Horrible. It was on Yahoo News and everything. Listen, that's part of my superpower. So now I can give hope to other kids who've gone through the same thing, right? And that spiraled me off into, depression and suicide and all this other stuff. Those are my patches now. So whatever it is that you've struggled with in your life, no matter however what it is that you've been done wrong, the goal is to use that stuff to give hope to other people who've gone through the same thing that you have. If you don't do that, you've made the horrible choice to suffer for nothing. That's a mic drop moment.
How can everybody follow you?
Easiest way is, I'm going to tell you, the easiest way to go is you go to H4H, the number 4, H4H.us. If you go there, that's going to take you to a cool little website there. It's got my Facebook link. It's got some cool videos on there. And right now, I'm just doing my thing, man. I never know where God's going to take me next. What's next? I have no idea.
And you're going to be here wrestling today and tomorrow?
Yeah, we're here today, and then here tomorrow as well. We'll roll back home on Monday.
All right. So,
Doing amazing things.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.